Welcome back everyone, I'm Craven and this is Trails, the second chapter. First, let me address the elephant in the room of the last episode. I've noticed we had the doubling of the sound in our actual recording, which resulted in some very weird audio glitch during the episode. In the end, I decided to leave it in there because I valued the blind reactions to what we were doing more important than the sound at that time. Because even though it was very weird, especially during combat, to hear like an echo, like they are fighting from an actual chamber, to be very weird, it was not super disruptive. Like if it was a fully voiced game, then definitely would have been a very, very big issue. For now I left it in there. But the positive of the entire situation is I've learned more about my recording software on how it handles audio. So right now I think I've solved it, because the problem that I had was that I have different audio sources for different type of recording, like for console, TV, PC, webcam, everything, and they were all recorded on the second channel. I was thinking, if there's no sound coming through them, it will not pick up. But for some reason, for some glitch, it recorded like the speaker and the headset I had through the same channel, resulting in a doubling, which is not supposed to happen, but it did. So I fixed it. There's only now two channels that we are recording. One is the mic, other one is the game. Nothing else, so that problem should be resolved. So we got something positive out of it in the end, a greater understanding of how to use the software, which is a great thing. So for now, let's leave it at that and start continuing on with Trails and having some fun with that, because we are in Grancel. Because like I said, we are on a tour of Liberl, I think for another 2 episodes after this, because Grancel, pretty huge. So there's a lot of people to talk to, but we already went to the villa and we came across one of the exterminated monsters. So I'm thinking there should be one more, because so far there has been 2 in every region. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go into Grancel, talk to everyone, which is gonna be quite a big chore, but I want to know how everyone is feeling in the capital as well. And after that, if there is a second exterminated monster, we're gonna hunt it down and report it after we destroy its ass. So yes, that's for the day, and let's see how far we can get. And of course, if we talk to everyone, did the monster, and we still have time left, we'll make our way over to Zeiss and continue on our tour there. And like I said, after we completely talk to everyone across Liberl and deliver the CFGs, the story will continue on and become maybe a little bit more interesting as well in that front. Because to be honest, seeing all these conversations with the people around Liberl is so cool, because you see so many different perspectives about what's going on. Some people, they can see it, others can't, and they're all wondering what's happening, what's going on. Is there another crisis? How are we going to resolve this? How should we handle this? Yeah, it really deepens the entire understanding of the world, and I really love that part of it. So let's head inside. Apparently someone moved into the open house I was thinking of renting in the West Block. Seems he's going to run a shop, but that old guy is just plain suspicious if you ask me. The house has been sold? I wanted to live there with Estelle and Joshua. I thought it was going to be their future home. We're gonna check to see who is there. Maybe we know him. Still the same crabs. The night is so dark that you can see a lot of stars. It's so pretty. Talk about inconvenient. It's so dark at night I can't even go to the toilet. Well, I think you can go. Aiming should be a bit of a problem. Dick's a scaredy cat who can't even go to the toilet on his own. So it's not really indifferent from normal. Tom, the repair guy over at the factory, is a real trustworthy person. If he says he's not a malfunction, I believe him. Zacharias thinks they're trying to make him buy a new model unit. No, that's not the case. At least not at this point. Even just waiting like this makes me nervous. I'm learning how to make popcorn over an open flame like we used to do. I'm usually pretty unlucky, so I'm used to trouble. I'm sure things will go back to normal someday, so we just gotta get through the now. Is mobility popcorn? Oh, because it gives us movement. I thought because you can eat it on the go. All the younger people are pretty shocked, it seems. Never been a day in their lives when they didn't have ornaments. Of course, the fisherman's group is proving to be pretty tough. I never knew the sun could be so bright and warm. Nights are so dark and cold, it makes me all the more anxious. The capital somehow managed to regain its calm. This too is also thanks to the Queen's proclamation. Yeah, it can be a good thing to lose the use of technology, even if it's just for a little bit, so you can appreciate how much it's there, how easy it makes life. Because trust me, with all my setup, if it wasn't working, I'd be in full panic mode too, so I can understand that. Even if Orban stops, nothing can cool the passion for fishing. This is exactly the time to get citizenry to enjoy fishing and calm themselves. They also secure food supply, so it's 2 birds and 1 stone. Yeah, we're just gonna make sure they don't fish the lake dry, because that could be a problem. Our society members are pretty used to outdoor activities. Seems like they're not as bothered as other people when it comes to roughing it. Lloyd even lighting fires rubbing sticks together. Damn, that is very basic. Cause don't they have lighters? Or are lighters here as well used via ornaments? Because that would be extremely basic, just having 2 sticks rubbing them really fast together. I don't see any tourists around at all anymore. I mean, not much you can do about it, but it's pretty sad. Yeah, they can't travel here because there's no airliners anymore. 1 clear. Grancel Sewer Monster. Seemed like a logical location to place a monster. Because to be honest, there isn't a lot of locations where you can get an exterminated monster. So good to know. So we'll be going after it pretty soon. Oh, Estelle, everyone. And Joshua, welcome back. I'm glad you've returned safely. Oh, hello, Elnan. I'm sorry if I worried you. Oh, no, hardly. I'm just glad to see you well. I hope you'll continue to be a valuable member of the guild. Sorry to cut in, Elnan, but how are things here in Grancel? Yes, well, the city is in chaos thanks to the sudden shutdown of all orbital devices. The local factory is stowed under a repair request, as I understand it. However, Queen Alicia has made a proclamation. She has declared that the government is devoting every resource into investigating and reversing the shutdown phenomenon, and that citizens should try to continue their daily lives as best as they can. It seems to have quelled the worst of the panic for now. Looks like Queen Alicia is on top of it as always. Yes, but that giant flying thing above Valeria Lake? The citizens are putting 2 and 2 together and saying it's the cause of the orbital problems. I see. Well, that's not very surprising. The number of people staring at it in the harbor grows hourly. Beyond that, the only other major change is that the gate to Grancel Castle won't open, courtesy of the orbital suspension. Okay, so things are calmer here than I thought they'd be, honestly. Yes, if the situation drags on, however, I don't think things will remain so placid. We need to restore communications across the country so we can organize a solution as soon as possible. And so we need to restore the phones in each city. Meaning our mission is pretty critical. Let's get back to it then. We still have Ruin and Zeiss left. Yeah, let's hurry. It's not an overstatement to say that the future of Liberl may rest on your shoulders. Good luck to all of you. Yeah, and the proclamation that the Queen gave is not a lie. We are doing everything we can to reverse it. But hearing the leader say that, from that position, I can see it calming people down. Okay, nobody here. And as we said before, because Kloe brought one of the units home with her, we don't need to repair the one here, because it's already repaired. Oh, sorry, but the factory is closed for business right about now. A few days ago, all orbital-driven equipment stopped working. No clue why, though. At this rate, I'm out of a job. Alright, of course. Don't worry, though. I think we have a little something to help with that. A little something? Let me explain. Joshua explained that by using the zero field generator, the factory's functionality could be temporarily restored. Is that true? Well, the equipment's right there. Could you give it a shot? Yeah, if you don't mind. Okay, just a sec. On activation, the zero field generator restored power to the factory's tools. Ah, it really worked. Alright, if you want to tune your ornaments, now's the time. Well, it's not that I want to tune them. I'm gonna tune them the moment we've done traveling all across Liberl. I think for now we're more than okay. I think the only moment we need to have a look at it is if we lose more ZFGs, meaning we need to rely on the more physical characters of our party. Still, those generators or whatever are incredible. Just to check, would you be willing to sell one? Even if the cost a bit high, I'd be interested. After all, if my equipment was the only stuff that worked, I'd rake in the mirror. I wish we could, but I'm sorry, they're needed for an important mission. Besides, even if you were able to open up your factory, the citizens can't use their ornaments, so there wouldn't be much point, you see. There is that problem, huh? Well, bring that when you come by. If you do, you'll be able to use the factory like normal. It's a slight interaction, but it does give us credence to use the equipment while everybody else can't. Seems like everyone finally understands that all ornaments everywhere aren't working. Seems like the announcement from the Queen Alicia had some effect. Anyway, all we can do is put up with it, so we do it while we do what we can. Yeah, always a good attitude to have in an emergency situation. Don't be a douche, and just stay calm. As long as I have that man, I'm scared of nothing. We didn't used to have ornaments, so we can live just fine. Also the same wares? Yeah, it's the same all over the place. No matter what, I have to keep my wife safe. Well, you have a weapon shop, so I think you have enough weapons to defend yourself against the public. I wonder why the stove isn't working. It's hard to cook without a stove. Youch! Ah, daytime's not so bad. At least it's warm and I can see what I'm doing. Cooking at night, however, now that's a real pain. I just hope I don't set myself on fire. Well, it's a risk. Ah, this sucks. Not being able to use ornaments is such a hassle. I trust that Your Majesty will be able to fix everything soon, however. Well, I'm sure she'll do her best to facilitate everything we do. I just don't feel like it right now. You can see the flying island thingy from the harbor from what I heard here. What say we go to see for ourselves? Yeah, I'm hoping the harbor is open so we can check as well. It does seem that the castle is closed for business, at least at this time. The surface of the meat is roasted perfectly and smells wonderful. Directly its cooking is different than normal, but kinda nice. Seems like it's hard to control fire though. Gretty was having a rough time of it at first. Well, she had to relearn cooking on an open fire. Phew, it took a bit, but I think I'm getting used to the cooking within fire thing. If the people from the fisherman group hadn't taught me, it would probably be closed for business at this point. A mocking pie. Especially in this situation. Nobody on top. Why is it when a young lad we didn't even have ornaments? There's not a darn thing inconvenient about living without them, I say. If anything, it brings me back to my youth. Bringing it back to your youth doesn't stop all this from being inconvenient. No matter how trying the circumstances, I've never lost the strength to endure. So long as we stay strong and endure, Her Majesty will surely pull through for us. Yeah, the amount of faith they have in their queen, it's incredible. I really do hope if and when Kloe decides to take over from Queen Alicia, which I think she will, she's up for the task. It will be a rough transition, definitely. Nights sure are long when you can't use ornaments. I'm so anxious I can't sleep. It's so depressing to see the sun set. General Cassius and Colonel Sid are in the Royal Army. Just thinking that calms me. The Royal Army is still maintaining heightened security. I'll do my best too, in case the worst happens. Please, pass on through. Are you sure? I've been instructed by Ambassador Cochrane to let you in if you came. What's this about? It seems she wants to hear from all kinds of people, so she can get a better idea of the situation. Ah, gotcha. Well then, if you'll pardon me? You think they go on lockdown with all the orbits shutting down, but no. They want the people to let them be heard. Since herbal lighting doesn't work, we're getting our lights with lamps. Lamps are inconvenient and need care when handling, but there's something really heartwarming about them. It may be a bit inappropriate to be thinking that right now, though. Oh well. Just a few more days and I'm sure we'll be able to fix it. Even Ambassador Cochrane seems quite tired. Her efforts to gather information have taken quite a toll on her sleep, apparently. Well, then let's give her a mother load of information through us. We didn't have ornaments when I was young, so I'm not really fussed that they're out now. I understand why one would worry, since ornaments are so common nowadays, but perhaps now is exactly when I can be of aid to the ambassador. Yes, because the old people, they are used to not using ornaments, because when they were young, there weren't as many as there are now. Given that all communications from Liberl has cut off, I imagine the Republic is in quite a tizzy. Eventually, someone will send an investigation team to represent them. We need to gather as much information as we can before then, but... My husband is currently off at Grancel Castle. He apparently wants to inquire directly if there's any way to contact our home country. I think he'll just end up waiting pointlessly without an appointment though. As always, he's missing the point. The ornaments aren't working, and no matter how much you plead, that doesn't make them active, workable, usable. Unless Professor Russell finds a way to get the CFG out everywhere over a bigger scale, which he might, maybe. Hello, Ambassador Cochrane. Oh, Estelle, good timing. I'll put this to you directly. Do you have any information about the situation? Given that the Royal Army seems to be acting quite calmly and confidently, I assume this situation was predicted? She's sharp. It seems I've let myself get a bit flustered by it all. I can guess Liberl has its own circumstances. Even if you knew anything, you probably couldn't tell me everything. I'm sorry. Oh, don't worry about it. Thinking about it, if our position were reversed, I really can't complain. Ambassador Cochrane, let me just ask one thing then. Are we okay just wait like this? She's asking if she can leave the situation to the Bracer Guild. To us, in other words, I think. Oh yes, of course. Right now the Bracer Guild and the Royal Army are putting their full force into investigating this. I'm sure we'll resolve this phenomenon and get things back to normal. Please do. And that says it all. The fact that Estelle says to her the Royal Army and the Bracer Guild are on it, and the only reaction she has is, please do, just screams out that she has the confidence in us to solve this situation. Which is kind of nice when you think about it. In international society, liberal superiority... superiority is maintained by our orbital technology. The Non-Aggression Pact is a signing of that. If this situation continues, even the Queen won't be able to... Yeah, let's not get into those situations just yet. With ornaments unusable, even our gorgeous capital is pitch black at night. Seems like the Queen is looking into the situation, but I wonder if she'll really find a way to make them work again. No entrance? Ah, pretty good. Having an arena fight right now would be a bit in bad taste, I guess. Okay, so we need to be in the sewers for the monster. But let's first get this area done before we go down there. Oh, you guys are... Oh, please, pass through. Oh, Olivier is not with us, but can we pass anyway? Oh yes, there's no problem. Given the situation, the ambassador would like as much information as he can get, it seems. I've been informed that if your braces came by, you were led to be true. Oh, okay, well then. I wonder if my father and mother in the Empire are safe. Olivier left the other day. I wonder if he's alright. Not being able to communicate with your own country in a situation like this is terrifying, I'll admit. You know, that golden floating object? I've never seen or heard anything like that before in my entire life. It's damn creepy, that much is for sure. I wonder what the last communique from the Empire meant. He was yelling something like, "What do you mean, don't move?" I wondered what that floating object above the lake is. Is this phenomenon occurring in the Empire as well? It would be nice to know something. Knowing nothing at all is all nerve-wracking. Well, I think it's only the Liberl region, isn't it? I don't think we've heard anything about the same thing happening in the countries surrounding Liberl. At least not at this time. It could be that the longer the aureole is active, the bigger the area affected will be, but we don't know that. There was a strange order from Erebonia before the orbital shutdown occurred, from what I've been told. Just as the ambassador tried to inquire about it, communication suddenly dropped. What on earth could it mean? Hello, Ambassador Cranak. Oh, you lot. Good timing. What do you know about the current situation? Any details you could provide would be of great assistance. Well, this is certainly out of the blue. Far from it. Ornament malfunctioning on such a massive scale is utterly unheard of. I won't be able to keep regular contact with Erebonia at this rate. I can't even get any work done. It is unacceptable. I see. Pardon me, sir. Have you inquired with Grancel Castle yet? It's possible that Queen Alicia might be able to help you. Of course. I did that some time ago. Several times, in fact. Yet I've received a response of any kind from Her Majesty. I think it's safe to assume that the palace is in just an unfortunate state, given the circumstances. Oh. If I could just restore communications, I could handle the rest. We can't give him a CFG, right? Of course not. We barely have enough as it is. He just has to deal with it for now. Yeah. Because the more we give away, the less combat capabilities we have. And I want to lose as little as possible. The youth nowadays, orbments not working is a source of terrible anxiety, it seems. Of course, it sure does make it hard to boil water. Guess I've gotten complacent too. Alright, let's see how they're doing over here. Currently, as all orbital energy is suspended, none of our aircrafts are able to fly. I will gladly offer refunds here for any tickets. We are sincerely sorry. It's all over. The tour plan I put everything into worth nothing now. No one's gonna be traveling in these circumstances, huh? For a while, this place was packed with people, but thanks to the Queen, they seem to have calmed down. Just a bit ago, I heard something similar happened in Zeiss. I think it's this nerve-wracking being unable to use orbments. At the moment, we are reconsidering all flights. We ask for your understanding. Ooh, a new one. Not bad to check, at least sometimes. But we did check before we left Roland, and there was a new one over there. It's so quiet here now. I thought the chief engineer would be freaking out more, to be honest. Seems like being in this desperate situation actually calmed him down. If only he's always this confident. Seems like the Cecilia and the Linde are grounded over in Pose and Roland. Well, nothing for it then. Just gotta wait to keep the landing port in shape until things change. Yeah, there really is nothing else to it. There's nothing else to do. Welcome. The History Museum is open for free to all. At the behest of the Queen, who hopes our service will help citizens to relax in some way. I came here thinking it might be at least a chance to clear my head. I hope everything goes back to normal soon. I think we all hope that. Apparently, the Queen mandates that attendance is free for this place. Seems to have cheered my children up. I bet we could use this without orbals. That's just a very ancient bracer. The Dark Age of Ruin. I'm having a thought. What if the Great Collapse is because of the Aureole, and that's the reason why it was whisked into another dimension? And that's why there is the Dark Age of Ruin, because they couldn't use any orbits anymore. So that also means that if we can resolve this, there might be another big war over all the countries because of it. What a curious design. Really? You're talking shit about the Capua gang's Bobcat? Yeah, we can't stand by that. Even without orbments, you can still look at ancient relics and imagine the past. Archaeology should be something doable even in the greatest of trials. Woohoo! This is a true man's romance. I'm not gonna get down over something like this. Whoa, so they used stuff like this in the past, huh? If orbital energy never returns, I guess we'll go back to the era we used these. Possibly, but let's not count us out just yet. Something strange has happened to the towers in each region that we are researching. The top of the towers were engulfed in some strange blackness, and then went back to normal after a while. I wonder what that was. Actually, the orbital shutdown started when all the towers' abnormalities had stopped. Because then Wiseman had enough energy to summon the Aureole, which caused the orbital shutdown. The Linda is still stuck in Roland. I was worried about my child that I came back to the capital. Their rooms are so dark and cold. It's really scary, but I'm doing my best to be brave, just like Mama said. Don't tell anyone, but I was so relieved when I saw Mama's face. I cried. Aww. I thought the orbital shutdown problem was just in the capital, but it seems like it's affecting other regions too. If orbits remain unusable forever, what's gonna happen to this country? Liberl is a country that developed as much as it thanks to the orbits, yes? If orbits remain unusable like this, things will surely become more than just inconvenient. Yeah, we definitely need to return the use of orbits, no matter what. Even if it's just to be able to protect Liberl against outside forces. More likely, seriously, give me a break. Don't you think this lifestyle is so tragic? That thing that appeared at the lake is super suspicious. I mean, doesn't it just look suspicious? Two valley girls, isn't it? Definitely. If it didn't have such a sore throat, I might have gone and tried to pretend a valley girl accent. The Grancel Castle kitchen is making our ice cream. The Queen said she wanted to make sure everyone could try it. I was shocked to hear the Queen had eaten my ice cream. Yeah, it's these little things that are so important, because people are so used to having this. It comforts them in some way. Alright, all that's left is the market. If we're not gonna get anything to sell coming to us, we'll have to get our stock to sell ourselves. Sell anything you can at all. After all, our customers surely want products. Even if there's things we can't do anything about, we'll do the heck out of what we can do. Welcome. Thanks to all the orbital energy going kaput, the latest edition of Liberl News is only sold in the capital. Even so, the reporters and editors are incredible for managing to get an issue out at all. I gotta do my part and sell it like crazy. Okay, so that's an actual explanation on why there is a new edition here and not anywhere else. Hey, that's attention to detail. Ooh, anti-cold. Just one for inventory. Oh, forget about pots and plates. We need to secure food. This is getting serious. Our manager's pretty reliable, right? I can see where she says, if I were a glacier, I could even sell ice. Anything here we don't have yet? A cat's tail. Still, at some point, we'll have to wear the entire cat gear just to see if it changes anything. Lately, we haven't been getting our fish from Ruin, but from the Fisherman's Guild apparently. I thought they were purely a hobbyist group, but with Orbanstead, it seems they're really stepping up. My sister, who is heading to Bose, is apparently in Roland. Thank goodness, she's safe. I wasn't worried or anything. I'm going to challenge her head-on and win the position of tea sales staff after all. But no tea leaves are being sold at this shop. Yeah, I think we shouldn't need to focus at the moment on recipes. We can do that at a later point. Okay, so I think for now, just to break things up a little bit, because we still have like 4 regions even, that we still need to talk to. I'm thinking of going into the sewers and trying to find that exterminated monster and just defeat it, just to have it done, and having a little bit of combat in the episode as well. So let's head down to the sewers, and we will see you at the to-be exterminated monster. Ah, I think we've just found it. It's one of the hairballs. Alright. Well, let's do this. A large monster is prowling. Not for long. Joshua isn't at 200. But I think that shouldn't be a problem. I just want to make sure that we get rid of the egg so it doesn't damage us enough of the other people. And there are 4 of them, isn't there? What to do? I'm gonna wait a bit, see if we can get to 200, because it is gonna give us a very nice boost if we do.
Guys, come on!
Oh, 1 tick away from getting every single one of them.
Prepare to meet your doom!
Alright, so we got at least rid of the egg. Okay, that's really good. What does the other one have? It has other skills besides hard shell for defense. Okay, so not much else. Yes, I think just hitting it. Come on, get it. Too slow, too slow. And I accidentally hit Estelle up with it. That's not good. Oh well, let's pick the one with the highest HP. As for Estelle, definitely an accident.
Finished.
Alright, that did a lot. Ooh. It is a line attack. But we could only use it on 1. Okay, so let's pick the one that's closest in the timeline. Then Estelle can take care of the other one afterwards. Oh no, she doesn't have CP. No. Oh, well. And we can't reach it because there are other ones blocking the way. And I think they know that. Okay, so I'm thinking we're just gonna have to handle the attack. The most powerful of wind magics. Not too bad. We can deal with that. Yeah, I'm just gonna take down the lower ones first. No, still not a hurricane. Can we do a combat with 2? Yes, we can. Oh, no you don't. God Technically, we should be able to break it without impeding it.
Care for a rematch?
Not too bad. Ooh, Death 1. So is it an ornament or accessory? Kill enemy with a 20% success. Oh yeah. There's no reason not to. Oh, can you imagine that? Doing a hurricane and killing everyone in one go. Alright, so let's head out of the sewers and into the next region of the city. Okay, before we head off to the next section, I want to report the two exterminations. It's not excessive to say that order in Liberl depends on you. Please, restore communication between the branches as soon as possible. 5 points, and another 5 points. B+. Strike a B1 accessory as a perk. Good work, it seems you succeeded at your objectives safely. If you complete any other task, come report again. Alright, so we have had one comment that there is a good chance we won't reach our max rank with the bracers, which I really hope we can just get it by doing all these extra things. If not, then they are very strict in the second chapter, because we've done every quest on the board, definitely. We even found a lot of extra ones. We got a lot of extra plus points, but even then we didn't have enough to get to A. I would be slightly saddened by that. But like that, we're doing our best and it's a blind playthrough, so we'll deal with the cards that we have. Doesn't mean I'm not gonna stop completing the quest that we do have. Alright, let's see what the Stregas do. There's only one person we can give it to. It's gotta be Estelle. Depending on the stats, of course. Defense 200 and movement 10. Pretty high defensive stats and movement, but the rest of the stats are kinda shit. Who do we want to give it to? Because the agility and the speed, I like it too much. This is going to be a thing if we're going to the next dungeon, the next big area, and we're going to find new equipment. For now, I'm not going to equip it. I'm going to leave it for now. It's too basic for me. Alright, so I think heading towards the hotel and the castle will be the best next thing, because they're relatively small areas. I was given orders from Her Majesty to go home by home and explain the situation to each and every resident. Naturally, not a single one of them has been thrilled to see me. I can understand why, but it still stings a bit. It's better to explain than to keep public wondering though. Just about anything right now could cause a panic. Agree. The more information, the better. Accurate, factual information, because if people don't have it, they're going to imagine all different kinds of things, and people can imagine things worse than what's actually happening. To ensure the citizenry aren't worried, we have to remain calm. So true. Amen. Time to begin evacuation training for our home. First, roll call. At times like this, it's great comfort having that man around. There are all kinds of emergencies nowadays, so this kind of thing is important, don't get me wrong. But that smile kind of makes me wonder. He's enjoying it too much. Finally, a situation where he's the important man of the house. Yeah, I can get that. So let him enjoy it while it lasts. I do want to come back here after we restore the ornaments, just to see how his reaction is. I can imagine it's gonna be pretty sad. Because he wants it to last a little bit longer. Thanks to the Queen, I'm still somehow able to keep up with my business. Even without ornaments, I'm striving to maintain the same level of service I always offer. Sadly, there's not much I can do about light or heat. I hope the ornaments are restored soon. And while we're here, might as well have a little rest. Yeah. Well, not a lot of people sleeping here today, is it? Where are the cleaners? They have to be in one room, right? Nope, they're not working today. Oh well, it's fine. I'm sure they're out here somewhere. Everyone's acting like the Queen can just snap her fingers and make things all better. They still don't even know why orbital energy stopped, right? This sucks. I'm stressing out big time. We know why it's shut. So don't worry about that part. No! He left. Oh, you all are... Please, pause. I thought they said they couldn't open up the door to the castle. That's misinformation, isn't it? Okay, so... might as well do the castle? Captain Swartz is not currently in the castle. She's aboard the RC. While the captain is away, we will keep this place safe. Never thought I'd see the day where the Duke would behave so well. And the world works in mysterious ways. Has he finally learned his lesson? Is he finally acting like a normal human being? Ah, Joshua. Hi, Shay. It's been a while. Oh, good, you're back safe. Shay? What is it? You're as beautiful as ever. Oh, it's nothing. Yeah, she's still contemplating the time that he wore a maid's costume to get to the Queen. Yeah, it definitely was something else. Ah, no peeking! Come on, Joshua has seen it all by now. Is it true that you can cook up certain unique zest using coal fires and fireplace? The problem, however, is that it takes much longer to produce such fine flavors, and I'm short on time as it is. I suspect any complex meal will be out of my reach for some time. Warming and boiling water is easy enough even with just plain old fire. It's not quite so easy to control fire conjured from Northwind. The signing ceremony after party went over as well as it ever could. All parties were more than delighted to partake in Mr. Gervais' food. I imagine so. It's a very high quality. Ever since Orban stopped, nights are dark and cold. It's hard to cook. Every day is just unbearable. How does the throne intend to respond to this situation? If you will allow me. The Orban shutdown phenomenon is currently being investigated primarily under the jurisdiction of the Royal Army. We have no other details on the situation at the moment. That's absurd. No, calm yourself. Certainly there is much we do not know. This is exactly why it's the intent of Queen Alicia to support the citizens as much as possible. For example, the East Block's History Museum has been opened to the public for free. Furthermore, with the Queen's promise of support, dining establishments are staying open as long as possible. By doing so, we hope citizenry will reclaim their calm. Also, in case of an emergency, we also have planned to use the Grand Arena as an evacuation site and... Whoa! Is this real life? The Duke seems like he's actually saying really reasonable things. I know it's like the martial art competition where he's being forced to say it. No, unlike that greeting, this isn't a situation where all he has to do is say something arranged in advance. He's clearly speaking his own words based on his own will and thoughts. I suppose something acted as a trigger to start changing the Duke. Finally. If he keeps this change up, I'd be really proud of him. Because he really was an ass in the past. There's no other way around it. My, if it isn't young Joshua and Miss Estelle. Philip, it's been quite some time. Ever since the birthday celebrations, I believe. But I'm glad to see you're well. Ah, yes, thank you. While you were away, Miss Estelle has been most good to His Majesty. Estelle has? Ah, I didn't do anything that big. Well, Estelle just was Estelle. And she was really upfront to the Duke about it. Duke Dunan is a better person than I thought, but his hairstyle is as terrible as rumors say. I see. Seems the Queen's got a lot to think about too. Knowing the throne is doing its best to respond to the situation is a relief. We gotta do our best too. Ooh, you are... if you wish to meet Her Highness or Claudia, you likely won't be able for a while. If you want to know the details, you should ask Hilda. I'm sorry, but I have a busy all morning dealing with petitioners, so... You keep going at it, you're doing great. Ever since Ormond stopped working, a lot of citizens have been petitioning for aid. If the Duke wasn't here, we'd have a hard time getting to all of them. Still though, the economic damage in just the capital alone from the after effects of the orbital shutdown will be terrible. Yeah, where there's no other way than just to deal with it. I'm Walter, a senator with the Republican Parliament. Is it not reasonable to expect a more decisive answer? When exactly will I be able to contact my home country? Yeah, when the Orkmans are restored. There is no other communication unless you send a bracer over to the border to relay the message. As I said, we are currently investigating the cause of the orbital shutdown. As Queen Alicia is currently otherwise occupied, I'm afraid you will not be able to meet with her right this moment. As soon as we know anything, we will contact the embassy immediately. I wonder where Hilda is. She's probably near the Queen's quarters, isn't it? Is it true there was a dragon in Bose? The army's airship fighting a dragon? That sounds like one for the history books. Well, a giant floating city? I think is right up there as well. Even for the Royal Guard, to be unable to use our guns drops our ability to fight to almost nothing. If the Empire attacked at a time like this... Oh wait, I guess the Empire wouldn't be able to use their guns either. But I have heard that their ground troops are a little bit more advanced than that of Liberals, so we still don't want them to come any closer to this region than they already have. And the door is tightly closed. Good. Alright, so let's get to the upper regions of the castle. Ah, there she is. Estelle and Joshua. It's been a while, Hilda. Ah, yes, welcome back. Hilda, is Kloe around? Miss Claudia is in the audience room ahead. However, she's currently speaking about important matters with the Queen, so I'm afraid I must ask you to refrain from entering. Ah, really? Yes, I'm afraid I can't say when they will be done. I am very sorry. I know you went out of your way to visit too, but... No, don't worry about it. I just came to see her since I was in the capital. I don't want to get in the way, so I'll take my leave. Pardon us? Yeah, of course we're reasonable. We're just her friends, we're not some official coming by and demanding we need to see her. Duke Dunan is almost like a new man. Lately, he's even gone so far as to hear petitions from the citizenry in the audience room. It does seem like he's turning over a new leaf, and to be honest, I'm all for it. Because in all honesty, anybody can change at any time whenever they want. Because the only thing stopping you from changing yourself is just yourself. And I think the Duke just recently realized that. I need to finish all my work before the sun sets. With ornaments no longer working, everything gets pitch black when setting up the sun. Yeah, it's still quite impressive how much light there is in here during the day. Because, to be honest, you don't see much windows in this castle. Any more maids? Maybe? Lady Claudia will be residing at the castle for some time, and I'm happier for it. Her mere presence alone does plenty to brighten the halls of this castle. It is true, she is a very nice person. That's one of the reasons why I fully endorse her becoming the next queen. I really believe she can do it. Beyond this point are the Queen Alicia's quarters. Her Majesty the Queen and Princess Kloe are currently not in their rooms. I saw them leave. Yep, we know where they are there in the audition room. Alright, I think that's the castle. I don't think there's any reason to go to Queen Alicia's chamber, because there wouldn't be anything or anyone there. So let's head out and let's go to the West Block. Will be very interested to see who lives in that house. You can see that weird thing in the sky pretty well from the harbor. I bet you could see it even better from the castle. What are you saying? With an attitude like that, you'll never be able to join the group. This is exactly the time to cast your line and calm your mind. The mindset of a master fisher is that of a clear, still pond. With things as they are, I really don't think now's the time to fish, but... Really? And you call yourself a fisherman? Yeah, I'm with your wife. Step up your game and become a master fisherman. Well, you'll never get there. Alright. How much longer until the orbments work again? I didn't think life without orbments like this would feel so awful. Yeah. That's why this situation isn't necessarily a bad thing in all its effects. Because realizing that might enrich your life when orbments get back, because you know what you've been missing. Alright, let's see who lives here. Was there a store here? Oh, welcome. Do we know him? Can you turn around a bit? Excuse me, sir. What kind of store is this? I didn't expect to meet you here. Oh, do you know him, Joshua? Estelle, you know this person as well as I do. No. Don't tell me this is the former mayor of Ruin. I do? Is he with the society? No, not quite. So if you don't mind, I'd like to hear the details. Former mayor of Ruin, Mr. Dolmore? Yeah, I thought I recognized him. What? Why are you here? I believe you're supposed to be in holding at Leisten Fortress. That is true, but do not misunderstand. I am here with all proper permissions. Proper permissions? Yeah, that's not suspicious. How rude. Considering what happened in Ruin, asking me to believe you would be insane. Add what you did to innocent children, orphans I might add. Estelle, let's hear him out first. You can decide if it's worth trusting after that. Fine. You must understand that I too am a victim of that case. After all, my memories of that period are quite vague, as if I were controlled by someone. On top of that, I had to pay an enormous bill from what little fortune I had left by my name. Ah, I see, so that's why. Bill? What's that? Well, it means that by paying a certain amount of money, you can be set free until your guilt has been proven. So what, any bad deed can be forgiven with money? Nothing is forgiven. Liberl's justice system works on a principle of innocent until proven guilty. Until your guilt is established, you are granted personal freedom by paying a heavy amount of mira to act as insurance against your fleeing. Of course, you're not permitted to leave the area or hide during that time. Precisely. I'm still not digging it. Basically, it means that it's not that impossible for Delmore to be here. It is true that there were also extenuating circumstances. But what are you doing here? Ah, as you see, to rebuild the Delmore family, I intend to make a new start. First, I'm starting a business here to save money towards rebuilding. A business. So what kind of store is this? Sepith. Sepith? Yes, there's no store anywhere in Liberl that trades in Sepith. Quite a genius venture, if I do say so myself. You're right. Still, wouldn't it be difficult to get enough Sepith to actually run a business on? Well, I have my own secret channels to procure stock through. And here he goes with the suspicious stuff again. So does it mean that we can potentially trade one element for a different element? That might actually be very useful. Even the punishments of hell can be bought off. Welcome to the Delmore firm. If you want Sepith, we can provide as much as you might wish. Of course, we will require you to pay appropriately. Oh, we can use actual mira to get Sepith. It's not actually a bad thing. Bit expensive though, but still. That's good to keep in mind. I feel like I've seen a store owner somewhere before. Whenever I try to get a good look at his face though, he hides it in the back of the store. Maybe he's shy? No, I think most people know who Delmore is. The cafe owner makes it all sound so carefree, but this is a big problem for me. After all, with no ornaments, I can't read at night. Candlelight makes me feel like I'm just hurting my eyes. Cooking without ornaments is rough, but I like the rustic feels when you use fire. Even the coffee seems a little tastier when prepared this way. Might be good to do it with wood and charcoal fires from now on anyway. Alright, so nothing in the shop. Cure of Dreams. Do we actually have that? Yeah, we do. Seems like the editor-in-chief got something to say to the staff. They're upstairs in the editorial room, all of them, for once. Ooh. Orbital energy stopped, and it's not just light and heat that's the problem, but communication is difficult as well. However, I don't think that you lot are sort of journalists to be deterred by small stuff like that. Of course not, we have a job to do. Exactly, many of the citizens now have no access to information and are trapped by anxiety and fear. This is exactly the time for us to provide accurate information and contribute to society. If you ain't gonna tell me twice. That's exactly the reason us journalists exists. But now, it'll be hard to get an article without even orbital cameras working, you know? Dorothy is right, most of our equipment doesn't work. However, to use it as a reason to abandon the duties of mass media is utmost of unacceptable. However, everyone, I don't care what you do anything you can come up with to get our next edition out there. It's really cool, because news is important, especially factual news. Ah, Joshua! Hey Dorothy, it's been a while. You really came back. Good for you, Estelle. Yeah, I guess. I'd love to get a memorial shot, but my camera isn't working. It really messes with my groove. I guess your camera's pretty important to you, Dorothy. Of course it is. It's my claim to fame, you know. I want to be able to take lots of pictures of that cute little floaty island soon. You're the same as always, Dorothy. Yeah, and she should never change. Now. Oh, hey Estelle. And Joshua. Been quite a while, huh? It has indeed. You're as busy as always now. Yeah, I told the editor the same thing about something like this ain't gonna stop my pen. That's just how companies want it. But what do you plan on doing without being able to use orbments? Yeah, that's a problem. Without things as they are, we can't even use Dorothy's camera. Well, I got some ideas though. After this, I'm gonna meet with the Queen Alicia and have her listen to him. It sounds like you're working pretty hard. Kind of a relief. So, Joshua, I gotta admit, I want to interview you real bad. But I'll put it off for now though. Still, you'll be ready for my pen. Go easy on me. Hey you guys, I don't think of the situation as a threat at all. If anything, this is exactly when the true worth of the Liberl news service will be tested. Great attitude. I thought so during the coup d'etat, but being pushed into a corner only makes things more exciting, huh? Maybe I'll write up an article about simple recipes you can do even without orbments. Alright, let's do this. Yeah, the editor-in-chief has it. Alright, even if I have to write it by hand, we are putting out the Liberl news. Can you imagine that? Writing each single copy by hand. Yeah, that's gonna take a long time. But I think a lot of people will appreciate the effort. At first, I was pretty down about all the orbments not working, but at a time like these, we just gotta keep strong. My wife's been putting all into work at the department store, and I don't plan on doing anything else. Yeah, here we saw her in the middle of the market, trying to sell all kinds of stuff. Alright, two more to go. We still have the general's house. To think that not being able to use orbments would be this anxiety-inducing. I wonder if he's safe. I wish I could at least contact him. It's kind of scary only having women around the house at a time like this. At the very least, I'll keep the Mrs. and Rian safe in place of a good sir. When the sun sets, it gets really dark in my room. If only the sun wouldn't set. Yeah, let's not try to control nature. That's a little bit too much, even for me. Phew, I need to get home before dark. The capital on dark nights is pitch black and scary even when you're grown up. Apparently you can see that huge floating thing from the harbor. A number of civilians have gone off to look at it. Yeah, we're gonna do that next time. But I do want to round it off with a visit at the cathedral. This is exactly when we need to offer our prayers to Idios. A little while ago, I got a package for Father Kevin from a suspicious-looking pair of men. It isn't that big, but it's wrapped very tightly. I was told by the Archbishop to deliver it as soon as possible. But I can't help wondering what's in it. Maybe another ZFG? So it begun, then. This occurrence is no trial from the goddess, I'm afraid. Yeah, be a little bit more confident when trying to sell that Archbishop. Alright. Where is the last one? I think there should be one more priest around here somewhere. Yeah, there she is. Father Kevin was up late talking to the Archbishop. After that, he left right away and he still hasn't come back. There was some kind of understanding about between the Archbishop and Father Kevin. Interesting. Alright, so we're gonna leave the episode here, because I think we've gone long enough. We've done mostly everything in Grancel except the harbor. So next time we're gonna go to the harbor, talk to people there about them actually looking at the Aureole. And after that we're gonna go to the checkpoint to Zeiss and heading over to Zeiss. The only thing we need to ask ourselves and need to think about is whether or not I want to do all the monster fights first, because as soon as we reach the guild house, we might lose more of the CFGs and make it even worse fighting these creatures. With a team like we have right now, with 2 CFGs, 3 CFGs, and 1 Agit, it's doable. We can manage. So I'm thinking maybe the next episode, once we reach the checkpoint towards Zeiss, we might need to focus on beating the tower monster, the 2 extermination requests, not only in Zeiss but in Ruin as well. Like, meaning we need to find those monsters and beat them without getting to the guild house. Because if we've done those 6 fights, I think the rest of the region would be no problem. Unless there is another quest like in the Malga mine, but there's only one way to figure that out, and that's by continuing on talking to all the people in the region. But I am thinking about doing that in the next episode. So that's just to prevent us losing another CFG unit by giving it to the guild and having a hard time defeating the monsters by beating the monsters before we do that. I think that's not technically a bad idea. It does mean they're gonna have a lot of big fights in the next episode, so keep that in mind. We've got another big game hunting session going on. But that's gonna be next time. Until then, I wish you all a great night, morning, day, wherever you are. And if you're still here, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and be back next time as we're going on some hunting trips. Bye bye.